I want to speak on something, man, that's really serious, okay? Because this isn't easy to talk about, and we all are susceptible to this. We are, and I was susceptible to it when I first started traveling, which is this: when you get lonely, when you don't have people around you that you know, or like in a situation I was in the Dominican Republic, I didn't speak Spanish, and I'm somewhere I'm not familiar with anyone. So what do? You go around people you normally wouldn't be around back in the States, and you started being with them and hanging around them, picking up a lot of their bad habits. It's not very hard to see why veterans would cling to a church, right? Especially if you're having a lot of problems. You got alcohol problems, you got depression problems, PTSD, you just went through a divorce, you've been dealing with homelessness because things are taking forever with the Department of Veterans Affairs. You got all types of things going on. So it's not hard to see how someone could fall in with a church like this because camaraderie. One of the things about the military that I don't think it talked about enough is the camaraderie that you build with people that sometimes you serve with 4 years, 5 years. You know, you build those friendships, those relationships with people. And yeah, you move on to different areas and you talk to different people and you meet different people, but there's always that camaraderie, right? So I can see how veterans who get out or veterans who've been out for a while and they don't really have anyone that they can turn to go to a church like this. Or sometimes, like with the travel space, get in with a group that they wouldn't normally be with, or be around people they wouldn't normally talk to. It's because of that camaraderie. You miss that. You miss those relationships, those talks, those people who may have something in common with you, right? It's not hard to see those of you who've been to therapy, right? Whether it's group therapy, you've been to group meetings, um, just anything involving a group. You see how some people are when you're in that group. You have some people who are very independent, that'll think for themselves, and you have people there who just want to go along to get along, right? They'll take direction very easily. They'll sit there and hold on to every word that you say. There are a lot of veterans out there like that. Real talk. There are a lot of veterans that get involved with people with peer pressure, and they get talked into doing things that they wouldn't normally do or going places they wouldn't normally go, right? And it's easy to see why, because as we get older, you know, a lot of the people that we knew, as time goes on, people pass away, we become distant, they move different areas, you don't see them anymore. And so you start clinging on to different things just to feel part of a group, that camaraderie that you miss. And I understand it. For me, I developed a habit of being by myself, at least not by myself, but being away from the American side. Because I see from a distance a lot of the turmoil that comes with that, especially living here. As you sit back and you watch the news here, I see a lot of the turmoil. I watch the news in the DR. I see a lot of the turmoil. I see in a lot of the places that are very popular, Panama, Mexico, constant people in this and this and this and this, all kinds of situations. So I've learned to stay away from that and deal more with the locals. But everybody's not going to be the same way. Everybody looks at the world different. For some people, they want to have that connection, whether it's skin color, whether you're from similar backgrounds and neighborhoods. And I just think that sometimes, guys, just being honest with you, it's not the greatest thing, especially when you don't have nothing in common with some of these people that you're hanging around, you picking up these bad habits, and then you get situations like this where veterans are being taken advantage of by this church that was basically just a scam. You got different situations, and I've told a story about me in the DR. skin color. You know, they're American. We ain't got a damn thing in common, but I'm bored. I didn't speak Spanish. I didn't know anyone. So I'm hanging around these people I would never hang around in the States, and got myself almost caught up in a situation because this person was a drug dealer. Had no idea. Didn't know he was being watched. Here I am thinking I'm just being nice and helping this person set up his computer. The very next day, he gets busted for drugs. I could have been caught up in something I knew absolutely nothing about. And why did that happen? Simply because I was bored. I didn't know anyone. Fell in with people I would never be around. And I learned a very valuable lesson from that. Same thing here. You know, a friend of mine told me prior to anything that happened here, they met someone and told me they off. Don't even talk to them. I'm trying to be the nice guy. I'm trying to help a fellow soldier. I'm trying to help another veteran. That's why for me now, guys, I can't see it. I can't see extending a hand to people from the States, knowing that everybody's not on the same page. I can't do it anymore. That's why for me, I know I joke about it and I laugh about it and I talk about it here and there, but I'm dead serious. If it's an American here, I'm gonna try to help them if I can. I had a situation recently I told J Love about. When was this? Monday? It wasn't a day. Yeah, it had to be Monday. We went to Santa Fe Mall down the street. Front entrance of the mall, we're going in. And there's a guy sitting there at the steps of the Escalade as we go up. So he's just saying hello to everybody to see who's speaking English so he can have a conversation with him. So he goes, "Hey man, how you doing?" I said, "Hey, I'm doing fine. How you doing?" He jumps up, said, "Hey man, I'm sorry to ask you, but I'm hurt right now. I don't have no money, and I'm trying to get back home." I said, "Where is home?" "The States." "Okay." Told me he was a veteran. Now, just like in the States, people are going to claim they're a veteran to try to get sympathy for you. But once people start talking about their experience in the military, there are certain things that that you're not going to make up. That you just, okay, yeah, this guy is really a veteran. Plus, he had his VA ID on. So, okay. So, Eric and I end up helping him. We got him a cab to the bus station. Go to the bus station, pay for a ticket to go to Bogota. I gave him the equivalent of like $50, like 200,000 pesos, so he can get something to eat, stay in a hostel, and then take his ass to the embassy. Now, when we dropped him off at the bus stop, there ain't no way he can cash that ticket because I paid for it on my card. So either he got the 200,000 and didn't go nowhere, or he took the 200,000, got his ass on the bus with the Bogota, and did what he needed to do at the embassy. I don't know. But I did my little part, right? I don't mind trying to help people that way. But with a lot of stuff that I see online and a lot of stuff that goes on in these other countries, I'm not extending a hand to nobody. I'm not getting involved in any type of situation that's going to jeopardize my freedom or my peace. And that's really what